What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Put 'em on a Poster podcast. If you're new to the channel, my name's Chandler, and let's get directly into the video, man. So, we haven't had basketball for the last couple of days, man. You know, obviously, All-Star Weekend, they want to give these NBA players a little bit of a rest if they participate in All-Star Weekend to relax, just take some time off, do their own thing before the second half of the season starts. And, you know, that's understandable, but obviously, you know, as basketball fans, it kind of sucks. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like college basketball, but you can see I go to Carolina back there with that flag. My family's from Kentucky, so I'm a Kentucky basketball fan. But obviously, you know, college basketball just isn't the same as NBA basketball to me, man. I don't know what it is, but I love the NBA, and I'm ready for it to be back, man. But to give us something to talk about while we're here, I just wanted to talk about my predictions for the second half of the season. Right now, looking at the standings, you got Boston at number one. Boston has a 42-17 record. And right now, they're the number one seed. They're going to be without Jaylen Brown for the next little while, unless he decides to play with a mask. But who knows what's going to happen with that? Jaylen Brown is a superstar. I don't care what people say. Jaylen Brown is a superstar. If you put him on another team, he's gonna average like 27, 28 per game easily. I like Jaylen Brown a lot. He's one of the better two-way guys in the league. And I think he's a stud, and I think he's just severely underrated because he plays alongside one of the best players in the league in Jason Tatum. So, and looking at Milwaukee's number 2 right now. They're 10-0 in their last 10 games, so obviously, you know, they're probably the hottest team in the NBA right now. They are without Giannis at least for a couple games, according to Shams, due to his wrist injury that he had, which sucks because obviously Giannis is the best player in the league at this point, or one of the best players in the league at this point. So it's going to suck not having him. Maybe they start to skid just a tiny bit, but I still think Milwaukee eventually has the chance to jump over Boston. It really just depends how the injuries play out with Jaylen Brown and Giannis. But I still think Boston has a chance to get jumped by Milwaukee. Philadelphia's at the 3 seed. They're 38-19. Joel Embiid, James Harden. I mean, that's just a crazy pairing as it is. Cleveland's 38-23. You got the Mitchell, Allen, Mobley, Garland group, and that group is going to be really nice. Give it a couple years. That group, I could see that group at least winning one title, maybe two, depending on how the rest of the NBA pans out and stuff. You look at Brooklyn right now, they're 34-24. Brooklyn obviously just got rid of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, so they're going to probably lose a lot of games coming up. They still have a solid team. I mean, you look at their team, it's Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith, Nicholas Claxton. You still got Ben Simmons, who's completely fallen off a cliff, but you have him. You've had Cam Thomas taking a big time step as of late. You still have Seth Curry. Royce O'Neal's a solid vet. This team could make a run for the playoffs. I mean, it's obviously not going to be any sort of good championship contending team, but maybe it can be that kind of team that's like, oh, maybe we can make a little bit of noise in the playoffs depending on who we're playing. So you got them at 5. You got New York at 6. The Brunson, Randall, RJ Barrett, who has seemingly done nothing to progress in the last couple seasons, just has his little tunnel vision moments where he doesn't even look up to pass the ball or see anybody. He just wants to get his own shots. And I hate to say it, I just really did not like RJ's game at all. I think he might end up being a bust. I mean, he's still been solid for what it's worth, and, you know, maybe he has a chance to progress a little bit, but I really do not like RJ Barrett. I don't know what it is, but you got Miami at 7, Miami right now, they've been struggling on the season. I can't believe they didn't make a single move at the trade deadline. But, I mean, obviously you had the talent. You had Tyler Hero. You have Bam Adebayo. You have Jimmy Butler. You have a solid core of vets around them. You got Kyle Lowry, who's completely fallen off as well. But it makes sense with Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's old. They need to try to get off of that contract if they can. But it's probably going to take at least a pick to do so. Oh, well, it's probably worth it. You got Atlanta at 8. Atlanta just fired Nick McMillan. Atlanta's been a dumpster fire this season, man, just in terms of all the problems they've had. Obviously, Nate McMillan and Trae Young got into it over the injury that he had, trying to make him play through it. And that was just one of the many problems that the Hawks have had. The DeJounte Murray trade just seemingly feels like it hasn't worked out, really. The Trae Young and DeJounte pairing, it's a little weird. On paper, you would think it fits great, but in reality, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. DeJounte's more of that point guard, let me run the offense kind of guy, while Trae Young's kind of the same deal. And Trae Young's a terrible defender. I mean, you put a good defender alongside Trae Young, you think it's an improvement, but no. Not really. And obviously, John Collins, that hasn't been really good. They've been trying to trade him for the last couple of years for sure, at least. Clint Capella been injured. It's just I figured Atlanta would be a lot better coming this season. Washington, at 28-30, they have a chance to make the play in. You got Porzingis, you got Beal, you got Kuzma. I mean, maybe they have a chance, but I just don't foresee that happening. Toronto, 28-31. Toronto, they've disappointed me a ton. Maybe they'll get it going in the second half of the season. They just added Jakob Poeltl with the trade deadline, so it is always possible. Kind of sucks, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Chicago, 26-33. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They just shut down Lonzo Ball for the season while also signing Patrick Beverley. I don't foresee Chicago making the play-in. Chicago's been terrible. I don't know why they didn't just blow the core up that they had to begin with. Maybe they'll get lucky and they'll hit in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. But their odds to even get the number one pick are going to be severely low. That pick will probably be going to the Magic because the Magic's pick because that pick is top 4 protected. So it'll probably be going to the Magic. But speaking more on the teams below them, you got Indiana, who's 2-8 in their last 10. Kind of sucks because they were a really good story. They were a solid team. Kind of just fell off. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. Miles Turner's had a solid season. He signed that big old extension, so I guess he'll be around for a while. You got Buddy Hield, who's been solid. Benedict Mathurin, been one of the best rookies in the league. You got Orlando. Paolo Banchero's been nice. Markelle Fultz is making a resurgence. Franz Wagner's been progressing the way he's supposed to. Mo Wagner, who actually was supposed to be like the worst of the brothers, he's been pretty solid himself, And they got more young guys there too. Maybe Suggs starts to take a step in the next season or so. Who knows what happens over there? But they got a solid core coming up. I like their team a lot. Charlotte 17-43 and Detroit 15-44. They're just tanking at this point. It's a battle to have the worst record out east. Charlotte's making a pretty good case for that, but I don't know. Detroit has been terrible. They've dealt with a lot of injuries. Obviously, they don't have Cade Cunningham, but they still have their vets like Bogey and Alec Burks. Maybe they start to win a couple games, but I feel like Detroit will probably shut those two down after a little bit and just kind of let themselves ride the tank out. So who knows what will happen with that. Out west, you got Denver. They're 41-18. I still think they're going to secure the number 1 seed. You got MPJ. You got Jamal Murray. You got the 3-time MVP, in my opinion. I think he's going to get his 3rd one this season. Back to back, Nikola Jokic. And he's just incredible. He's damn near averaging a triple-double. Super efficient. I don't see a world where Denver loses in the first or anywhere near the conference finals. I foresee them making the conference finals. I don't know what happens after that, but I for sure see them making the conference finals, and I for sure see Jokic getting his 3rd MVP at this point. It's inevitable. He's been that good this season. 2nd seed, you got John Morant. They're 35-22. They're 4-6 in their last 10. Losing Steven Adams has been killing them, but you still have Jaren Jackson Jr. He's been arguably the defensive player of the year. So you look at that. Sacramento, they're 32-25. They're 5-5 in their last 10. I foresee Sacramento kind of dropping a little bit. Their offense is insane, but their defense just isn't really good. They need to make some defensive moves coming up. If they could get some two-way guys, I think Sacramento really has a chance to be a solid team coming up. And they're finally, in my opinion, I think they're finally going to break the playoff curse, which is amazing, man. That's good. That's really good for Kings fans. And I like their core a lot. Fox and Sabonis is nice, man. I love it. Looking at the Clippers, they're 33-28. You just added Bones Highland. You added Eric Gordon. You added Russell Westbrook out of the buyout market. I think they're going to make themselves a little bit of a run as long as Kawhi Leonard and Paul George stay healthy. I think they'll jump Sacramento. And speaking of the next team, I think Phoenix, which they're 32-28 right now. But Phoenix just added Kevin Durant. So I foresee Phoenix jumping both of those teams. I foresee them getting the 3 seed. I foresee Clippers getting the 4. Sacramento getting 5 or 6, depending on how Dallas does, which speaking of Dallas, they're the 6th seed right now. 31-29. They just added Kyrie Irving. I don't foresee Sacramento dropping below 6 unless they just severely go on a losing streak, but I foresee them at least being a top 6 team. I foresee maybe Dallas jumping them and maybe they end up as the 6th seed, but who knows what's going to happen there. Looking in the play-in tournament right now, you got New Orleans, who's 30-29, but Zion's been out with injury. once Zion comes back, maybe they have a chance to make a little bit of a run. You got Minnesota, who's 31-30. The Rudy Gobert trade really hasn't worked out. But Anthony Edwards has turned into a star. He's been incredible. Made his first All-Star game this season. They haven't had Karl-Anthony Towns for the longest time. They traded for Mike Conley at the deadline. So, maybe things start to work out for them. Maybe they get better over time. Golden State, 29-29. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries. Curry's been out for a month with that shoulder injury, and now he's out for a little while with that leg injury that he's had. And I just Golden State just hasn't been good, dude. Like this is not the same team that it was last season. I mean, obviously they struggled a little bit last season, but this team just does not feel the same. Like it's just different. I mean, obviously injuries have hurt them a ton, but it's still just weird. And in my OKC Thunder, man, I love to see it. Right now we're 28-29. We're in the play-in. We're the 10 seed, but in my opinion, I just don't foresee us staying here. I'd be very happy if we did. Maybe some team like Minnesota drops out or Golden State drops out, but I don't foresee us really staying here. As much as I hate to say it, but looking outside, you got Portland at 28-30. Portland, I just don't foresee them really getting into the playoffs at all. They got a core, but just it doesn't work out, man. I don't know what it is with Portland. I just feel bad for Dame at this point. Dame needs to get traded, bro. Or get him a superstar. They should have been the first people trying to call and get Kevin Durant on their team. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. And Utah, 29-31. I mean, they just traded 3 of their guys. I mean, they're gonna tank. The main thing they got was that Lakers first round pick. They're gonna lose a lot of games coming up. LA, they just traded for D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and Mo Bamba. So I foresee them getting on a little bit of a run and maybe jumping up, maybe knocking out one of these teams and getting in that play-in. But I don't foresee them actually making the playoffs. They got to go on a crazy, crazy streak for that to even happen. They're about 5 games behind Dallas right now for that seed. So, I mean, obviously the West is really, really tight. Like, you can go on a streak, and I mentioned this in previous videos. You could go on a streak, and you could go from like 4 to 10, or if you go on a losing streak, and you can go from 5 to 7 if you go on a losing streak in 2 games, or you can go from 10 to 6 in matter of 3 or 4 games. Like, it's just insane the way that the play-in is right now, and how tight the Western Conference has been. So I'm excited to come playoff time. And obviously you got San Antonio 14-45, Houston 13-45. They've both been terrible. I mean, San Antonio's 0-10 in their last 10. They're awful. Same with Houston. Houston's just trying to tank at this point. Get their guy Victor Wembanyama if they can. Obviously that's not gonna happen unless they get super lucky with the lottery. But who knows? It's gonna be fun seeing what happens. Talking about my award predictions. I think Nikola Jokic, as I mentioned before, is getting that 3rd MVP. He's pretty much averaging a triple-double on the number 1 seed out west. He's incredible, man. Like, we will not see another talent like this for a while. Unless Victor Wembanyama turns into this kind of talent, I don't think we'll see that kind of talent for a while, man. He's truly incredible. Most improved player, I got to go with my guy Shea, man. He's so good, dude. He went up to 30 points per game this season. First time All-Star. He's a superstar at this point. He's an incredible player. He's going to be a stud coming up, man. I'm really, really excited for it. 6th man of the year, I got Russell Westbrook. Right now, you can make the argument for Benedict Mathurin, but as long as the Clippers use him as a 6th man of the year just because of his name and his talent, I think Russell Westbrook's going to get it pretty easily. Looking at Rookie of the Year, you got a battle between Paolo Banchero and Benedict Mathurin, but I still think Paolo Banchero's got it. Paolo's been amazing, almost averaging 20 points per game. I mean, he's a solid player, man. I mean, there's no denying that. In my opinion, he's got Rookie of the Year. I love J-Dub, and arguably maybe in 3rd place, but I don't know what's going to happen with him. He's got to go on a big-time run himself to get into that contention, which I love Jalen Williams. I hope he does get that recognition because he's a special player. And Coach of the Year right now, I got to go with Joe Mazzulla. I mean, Boston had that whole situation with Ime Udoka, and you can make the argument that Boston's been better this season than the prior season, even with Ime Udoka. So, in my opinion, and just coming off of that whole controversy, I think Joe Mazzulla's done an incredible job with that team. I think they're going to be real scary come playoff time. And, you know, in terms of my finals prediction, I got to go with Boston. You know, I've said it in a video before. I think Boston is just so talented. As long as they stay healthy, I think Boston's got it. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace.